This is Cindy Conover up in Carson City. This is our Achieve OnDemand new user orientation webinar. We're excited about this new opportunity, and let's learn how to use the program to better our program in general. Next.
So I know, Cindy, I know Evelyn had put some front information in. Were you planning on going through that with the group?
If you want to go ahead and go through it, that's fine, but I'm not sure if anybody can hear me and how well it's coming across.
I believe it's coming through, so.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll just go through the slides that we gave you, and then I'll have you pick up at the end.
Sounds good.
Okay, thanks. So here we have the Nevada Home Visiting mission statement. Nevada Home Visiting exists to develop and promote statewide coordinated system of evidence-based home visiting that supports healthy child development and ensures the safety of young children and their family members. Home visiting is a service offered to support positive parenting, develop nurturing homes, and promote healthy child development through regular home visits by trained professionals. And this is one of the reasons why we are so excited about this Achieve OnDemand curriculum. Next. Why are we doing this? Why are we having this this curriculum, competency-based professional development? Well, we want to go from good to better to best, and we feel that this program is going to get us there. The training is based on data collection, trends in training topics, and field input. This is going to be a great opportunity for your team members and other programs to collaborate. It'd be great if during the webinars you can get together around one computer and discuss the topics that are being discussed and work together. The training is also on sensitive topics that might be hard for a home visitor to approach, like domestic violence or boundaries or substance abuse. Also just cultural sensitivity in general. So I think that it's going to provide a great foundation for us as home visitors. And it's included in our maternal, infant, and early childhood home visiting grant application, and will be included in all of our federal reporting. As you guys are getting your sub-awards this year, this training through Achieve OnDemand is actually going to be in your scope of work. So it is a requirement, and we will be here to support you along the way in working toward your classes. Next. So the benefits for the program, and I know some of you were kind of wondering why we're looking at this and why we're going forward with this. Evelyn has actually been looking into this type of a program for a couple of years now, and since we hadn't had a competency curriculum, this one has actually been it's a great program, and we're looking forward to it. A home visitor and supervisors will not only have initial training when they come on board, but also ongoing training. So after you have finished, they're going to continue to add new trainings. If you are in need of CEUs, continuing education credits, Achieve OnDemand will actually be able to provide those. The best part of this program is your flexibility. It's a self-paced course for yourself, so you can plan it into your schedule whenever you are free, and then the webinars are once a month. The courses can actually be applied toward a child development associate. So Achieve OnDemand and Ounce of Prevention has coordinated all the work for you to be able to turn in your coursework through this program and put it toward any child development associate degree. And then also improve employee retention and engagement. The more that our home visitors are engaged and trained, the longer we hope that they will stay and continue to grow. Next. Benefits for the families. We really believe that this is going to help our home visitors support families and social emotional outcomes. the more that we as home visitors are strengthened in our own approach and our own biases, that we will actually become better at helping families be able to work the program and work what they need to actually have better education and literacy and just everything else. Sorry. Strategies to improve family engagement. The more that our home visitors are trained, the more the families will actually engage and stay longer. Improve home visitors' mindfulness and bias awareness. Like I said before, we all have a sense of when we come into a situation, what we think about it, our own background, how we believe, and this is going to help us be able to destructure, kind of take that apart and be able to identify where we're coming from and the best professional way to look at it. We're going to have healthier boundaries set with families. We're going to be able to know where kind of we end and they begin and what is their responsibility, what is our responsibilities. It's going to improve the overall quality of our home visits and then improve long-term family outcomes. So we're really excited about how this training is going to just embellish our program in general. Next. So Achieve OnDemand demo. So Michael is going to be taking us through how to access the Achieve OnDemand portal. He's going to help us learn how to register our accounts, browse the professional development course catalog, enroll in learning experiences, access your learning experiences, and access my professional development transcript. This is going to be really important if you want to continue education, but also for your scope of work, you're going to be able to show that you've completed the program with your completion certificate. So we're really excited for Michael to take over, and I've already gone through a few of these courses online as a demo, and they are well worth it. So there you go. Thank you, Michael.
Great. Thanks, Cindy. All right. So I'm going to actually start sharing my screen. And as Cindy mentioned, we're going to walk through the process of creating, how to create your account, how to log in, and then some basic navigation system, how to set up courses into your transcript, and then once they're there, how to access them. So to get started with registering into the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health site, you're going to want to make sure you're going to the Nevada site. And you'll be able to tell you're there because you'll see that you'll specifically say Nevada. You'll see the logos flanking Achieve OnDemand. The reason why this is important is we've worked with Evelyn and Cindy to set up a way for you to get into the system so that you can just get in and access the courses and not have to go through any checkout process. If you create your account through another one of our other entry portals and you're going through and you find out, you go to register for a self-paced course and it's asking you to pay, you'll want to reach out to us because it means you're in a different audience, and basically we can shift you on the back end. It's super easy. But if you run into that issue, or if you run into any other issues with Achieve OnDemand, this is really important, reach out to us at achieveondemand@theounce.org or call us at 312-481-8859. And I don't expect all of you to remember that right now. So we are going to share this video out later. Also, right here on the portal webpage, we have that same email address and hotline available for you to contact us. So we are here to support you. We want to make sure that you have the best online learning experience possible. So if you run into any issues whatsoever, please let us know. All right, so in terms of creating my account, I'm starting out at the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health portal, and that link will be shared out to you with the access basically once you through the group. So once you get here, you're going to come to the register button to create your account. All right, we're just going to click right there. And from here, we're just going to fill out the form. So this is going to ask first name, last name, email address, program model, primary position, and you can open those. I'm opening these tables to select that just by clicking on the little icon here and in. Organization site name, that's going to be your location where you're working. The address, city, state, zip, highest level of education, how long you've been in the home visiting field, and then whether or not you require CEUs for social work or nursing. This is pretty quick way to get information. The nice part about filling this out is it helps with that reporting back that Cindy mentioned for that McPhee funding and for tracking of user data, so that we can help to make sure that we're creating the new content we're building is meeting your needs, and that we can get that reporting back for the federal and state funding. And then the password, it gives the guidelines for what you'll need to set up with your password. Not super restrictive, but we do recommend using a unique password that that you can easily remember and that you can program in. So once you create your account, it'll actually log you directly into the system. So you can see like the button here will do that. In this case, I'm not going to actually create a user. I'm going to back out, so I'm going to cancel. You'll notice it took me to the login page. So if once you've created your account, that custom portal page, and I'm running low on battery.
Let me go.
Once you've created that page, once you've created your account, you actually won't need to come back to this page. You can keep this page bookmarked if you want to, but you'll just need to go to the login screen. And the login screen can be accessed from clicking the user login link. And then once you've actually entered in the system, it'll take you to the login screen as well. What my recommendation is, from this page, just go ahead and bookmark it. You can bookmark it via the, if you're in Chrome, you can just come up to the little star icon and click the bookmark tab here, and that'll give you the option to bookmark bookmark the site and name it how you want. You can also set up bookmarks in other browsers just by following the standard bookmark processes that those browsers use. All right, so we've created our account and we bookmarked the login screen. From here, I'm going to log in using the email address I used to register my account and the password I set up. If you do forget your password, you can click the forgot password icon here. If you're running into any issues, you can also just reach out to us at Achieve OnDemand at theouts.org, and we can reset your password for you as well. So just feel free to reach out to us if you're running issues. So once you've logged in, it'll take you to your dashboard. Your dashboard is going to give you a number of different ways of getting to registering in the content, and once you've registered, actually accessing it. So you're going to have a few widgets here. When you first log in, your My Professional Development widget here, you can see this demo user has a number of courses they're registered into. You're not actually going to have anything in here. You're going to need to actually register into a course. So you can get there by either coming up to Professional Development in the top navigation and doing Browse Professional Development, or by coming over to the Professional Development widget and selecting a filter to view things. So we put a few options in here for you to just quickly jump to some of the things that you might want to look at. So let's say you're coming in and you just want to look at self-paced courses. You can click self-paced, and that's going to bring up the catalog and show you just the self-paced courses that are available. I'm going to actually get rid of that, and as you saw, I got rid of the filter by clicking the little X next to it, and that gives me the full view of everything that's in there. Also, once you get into the catalog, you've got a few options for limiting down as well. So similarly, if I just wanted to come in and see the webinars, I could click on webinar, and that'll limit it down. If I just wanted to see everything related to mental health, I can click that. And that is so that gives you a few tools for viewing the content in a couple of different ways. Within the courses themselves, let's say I'm looking through and I'm interested and I want to check out impact of trauma for supervising home visitors. I can click that, and that's going to show me the full list of the description of the course, also our alignment to the Alliance for Mental Health trainings, and then the training registries and some of the details on how to do the self-paced course completion. Now you'll note this user right here has add to cart as their button and is showing a $95 rate. This is actually a demo user that I've got in a different audience. So if you get to this point and it's showing add to cart, you know that you need to contact us to actually get you switched over to the audience. Yours should just say launch course. So if you click that, you can launch the course and it will add it to your transcript. So I'm actually going to jump back to let's jump back to the dashboard. And let's say I'm interested in actually registering for a webinar. So if I want to see the webinars, I can go into the catalog. And I could search by webinar here to see all of the webinar titles that are upcoming. And if I want to, let's take a look at home visiting safety. Pull that up. I'm going to get similar information. You'll note I don't have a button up top here. The reason for that is we are actually running several sessions of that throughout that are scheduled on the calendar up through June 2020. And you'll actually scroll to the bottom to pick the session that you want to enroll into. You'll receive the same information. You also get an overview of the facilitator who's delivering it, and some slightly different information with regard to how the registration deadlines, since the webinars are actually scheduled for a date and time, we do have to do a cutoff for when folks can actually register into those. But to register in, you'd scroll down and select the date. You can see the date of delivery, also the time. You'll note for my view, it's showing me Central. It will actually modify to show you based off of the time zone that you're in. So you don't have to worry about trying to convert Central to Pacific or Mountain or anything like that. And once again here, remember this user is in a different audience, so it's saying add to cart. Yours should just say request training, and it will add it to your transcript. So we're going to go back to the, actually I'm going to go back to the professional development catalog, because as we saw, there are 2 dates scheduled for this. Let's say I'm less interested in looking at it by content area and more interested in just seeing what's coming up this month in the webinars. You can actually do that by coming back to the catalog and going to where it says date range. If you click view full calendar, it will show you a calendar view where you can see which webinars are coming up this month. So I can see on the 22nd, Home Visiting Boundaries is taking place at noon Central Time, and that Domestic Violence Safety Planning is taking place from 2:30 to 3:30 Central Time. Once again, those times will, from your view, will correct to show your appropriate time zone. And then you can actually advance through. So if you know you're doing a webinar a month, you could actually go month by month and pick out the webinar that looks best for you to engage with. And so like, let's say in January, I really want to take motivational interview. I can jump in, and in this case, since I've selected this particular section, I can just request for this session on its own by clicking request training. All right, so we are going to jump back to the dashboard. So I've gone through, I've selected my trainings, I've added them to my transcript. As you add them, they will start showing up here in your My Professional Development widget. Now this will only show the 5 most recent courses you've registered into. So as we saw, my demo user has had a number of registrations, so I'm actually going to go and look at the full transcript. So you could either click My Professional Development here to see the full transcript, or you can come up to My Professional Development in the top navigation, click that as well. Let's go ahead and give that a try. And this is going to give me a view that shows me all my active trainings. So as you can see, this user currently has 8 active trainings, which means that there are more than just the 5 that would show in the widget. And to access, you can just click launch for the webinar or for the self-paced courses. For the webinars, you won't actually be able to access them until an hour before that session opens. All right, we are going to jump back to the dashboard. And you can also do that from the widget here. So in this case, if I wanted to look into the substance abuse course, I could just launch that directly from the dashboard, and that's going to open in a separate window. Jump to the front. With the self-paced courses, you will, for the time being, we're actually updating the tag to remove Flash for the next 2 months, though. These do contain Flash, so when you open them, you may need to enable Flash on your browser. To do that, on the window that opened, you just come up to the little icon, lock icon, and where it says Flash, you'll actually just set it to say allow, and then it'll close out. It'll ask you to reload. And that will enable Flash to run for that. As I mentioned, we are updating that. We're going to be rolling out new versions of the self-paced courses that will remove that. So we will send out a notification to everyone when those go live, and then you won't have to do that anymore. By going through and allowing Flash to run, it will allow any of the multimedia components, the videos, or the other components to actually run on your computer. All right, so from here, you'll just be able to navigate through the course. And so, for example, you can get in and start working your way through. There's a few navigation bars here if you want to access the course map. You will need to work sequentially through the course. But once you've actually completed a slide, you can always go back to review previous ones. So let's say I wanted to jump back to the introduction, or jump to the module objectives. Actually, this learner has not gotten that far. So let's advance to the next slide. And we'll jump back to the introduction. You can also bring up the sound audio bar. So this is how you can pause and advance through the content. You can also open the transcript if you want to have a written version of the audio that's playing. You can pull up the help menu to see how to navigate. So this is a comprehensive overview of everything I'm moving through rather quickly. And there is also a link to the glossary from the 9-box navigation bar. You've already seen me jump to the dashboard a few times. Basically, if you click on the computer screen here, that'll take you back to the dashboard for the main access point to get to the various modules. And each course includes a reflective worksheet. This is a component that collects the responses that you're putting in to the course so that you actually have the ability to go back and view your open-ended responses as well as any of the responses you gave for the pre-assessment and the post-assessment. This is a very valuable tool that we recommend utilizing if you're going through from a cohort learning experience. If you're working through this alongside your peers, you can use this as a discussion piece as you go back and you talk about the content. It's also really helpful for going and talking with your supervisor about the content that you've covered. And then just keeping as a record piece for your own digestion on the content. All right, so I'm going to exit out of this course and come back in. As I mentioned, the webinars, those you'll launch directly from, you can launch those either directly from the widget if they're in your top 5 or most recent, or by opening your full transcript and opening the session. With these, you will log into Achieve OnDemand and click launch. That allows us to track your attendance in the roster. So it'll use technology similar to what you access today in WebEx. It's actually almost the exact same frame. The benefit of going in through Achieve OnDemand and accessing from there is it means that we're able to actually track to you. That being said, we acknowledge that it is usually it can be very helpful for groups to attend as a cohort in the webinar sessions. If you plan on attending as a group, you just need to have one person log in and open the session. But everyone who wants to receive credit will have to have pre-registered into the session. And we request that if you can in advance, send us a notification of who will be attending as a group. If you don't have time to do that, we do double check at the front end of the webinars to see who's attending as a group. So that's okay. We can catch you on that. And then everyone who attends in those will receive credit as the roster. But to receive credit, you have to have pre-registered into the session. That's the only important criterion. Make sure everybody individually registers, and then you only need one person to log in and access it to receive credit, and then everyone will also receive a recorded version of the webinar. All right, so let's say, great, I've completed, I've done my sessions, I've done that. Now, how do I find, so once I've completed that, what's the next steps? When you complete both a self-paced course and a webinar, it'll move you from, the button here will change from launch to pending evaluation. With that, we're going to ask you to go through and complete an end of course evaluation. That's where you can give us your feedback, both quantitatively and quantitatively. You can tell us how you felt about it and share your open-ended feedback with us. That is incredibly important so that we can keep refining Achieve OnDemand to meet your needs. It's also something that we will be sharing with Evelyn to help her see, what your responses are on it, and to help guide some of the feedback that we'll be able to share up through the federal funding guidelines. So once you complete that, the course will actually move out of your active view and moves into your completed view. So we're still in the transcript here, and to show you once again how to get here, I'm going to back out to the dashboard. I can either get there through the top navigation bar of going to My Professional Development, or clicking My Professional Development here. And if I want to view my completed courses, I can come to the filter view here, open it, click completed, and that's going to show me, in this case, my demo user only has one completed course, but I have the option to click view certificate. So if I click that, it's going to open the certificate in a separate window. And that opens as a PDF. So that means you can save it down to your computer to keep as an electronic version. You can also print it. So if you want to have a paper copy, you can print directly from here as well. And so that gives you the ability to store it or upload it as needed. And then let's say I also want, I'm interested in going back and reviewing some of the content from courses I've completed. With the self-paced courses, you can come back and launch them at any time. You'll just click the little down arrow next to View Certificate, click Launch, and that will open the course as normal. Once again, to enable Flash, I can just come up here, and we can see I've already got it allowed. And then I could navigate through the course to re-engage with the content or review anything that came up. All right, so that was a very, very quick overview. And we completely acknowledge that the system may take some time to get used to. We do have support guides for registration, enrollment, launching courses, and troubleshooting assistance. All of those are available, and we'll share those out with the Nevada team that can be shared out to all of you. And also, once again, if you run into anything, our support team is available to help you either via email or phone, and we can definitely send you any of those guides so that you can get through successfully. All right, so I'm going to take a moment here, and I think we'll just unmute the lines. So we're going to unmute everybody's lines, which may lead to a little bit of chaos, but if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them and go back and take a look at anything that you might want to see again.
All right. Just say that, Phil. I think we're
Okay, so Cindy, did you want to add anything?
Yes. Yes, I'd like to make just kind of reiterate on the expectation for your subaward and your scope of work is that each supervisor and each home visitor would be doing at least one self-paced course and 1 webinar a month. So as Michael said, it's great to get together for the webinars. Be sure to document who's there or logging in and coming together. Pre-register for those webinars, but maybe doing them at your staff meetings would be great. But definitely for the home visitors and the supervisors, the expectation is 1 self-paced course a month and 1 webinar a month. Any questions on that?
1 webinar a month. 1 course and 1 webinar a month. 1 phone course? 1 self-paced course, that's what they said.
Does that sound doable for you guys in the program?
Absolutely, yes.
Evelyn, this is Margarita. I will do my best, but I also manage several other programs that also include at least a webinar a month.
Thank you, Margarita. Anyone else have any questions for Michael or how to use the site or how to log in or?
Will the link be sent to us via email?
Michael, will the link be sent to them or should I send that link out to everyone?
So I would, in terms of access, I think Cynthia or Cindy, there was going to be a communication email going out to the group with the email or with the link.
All right, then I will definitely send out the link for you guys to set up your own account.
So just in terms of getting an idea of how long to allocate for each of the learning experiences, just since we're looking at, just to give an idea, the self-paced courses generally have about a 3-hour seat time. Or you may want to take longer, but about 3 hours. And the webinars are 1-hour sessions.
What do you say?
Did you guys hear what Michael had to say there?
Evelyn, no, there's a lot of feedback.
Okay.
There is a lot of feedback.
We're just going to mute all the lines for a second. So on the subject of time setting expectations, the self-paced courses are generally about 3 hours of seat time. That's definitely an average. You may be able to move through it quicker, or you may want to take longer in working through the course. But we've generally averaged them out for about 3 hours of content. And then the webinars are about 1 hour in delivery. So it just as you're thinking about, how to schedule out and hold that against your loads, that gives you a rough idea of how each of the courses is distributed. Okay, so we're gonna open the lines back up.
Michael, I have a question. This is Teresa. Like, for example, you're in the middle of the self-paced or the webinar, and you have to do something else. Can you go back and resume where you left off?
Great question. Yes, with the self-paced courses, they do track your progress.
With the webinar.
How about the webinar?
With the webinar, so the webinars are, once again, webinars are scheduled for a specific day. So those are
No. Okay.
The webinars are delivered live, and those you'll need to attend. Recorded versions of the webinars will be shared to your transcripts. So with those, a video so you can navigate wherever you want within them.
Thank you.
You got it. Thank you. All right. Do we have any other questions? Are we off mute?
They're all,
okay.
I'm going to unmute them all.
All right. We're off mute. Are there any other questions?
Yes, this is Margarita on the webinars. Will they be archived for viewing at a later date if someone can't attend them the day that they are running, the day and the time that they're running?
Yes, they are. We can share the recording. However, we cannot track you as a completed attendee with those based off of our creditory requirements. We need to have the live participation.
Hi, this question is for Cindy. We're wondering if this is going to be Nevada Registry approved, if you have a timeline for when they're also going to start.
That is a great question. Michael, do we know that? I don't know that off the top of my head, but do you know if this is Nevada Registry?
That is a great question. Let me go I will double check that, and I will follow up with you, and we can share that in the emails that when we send up.
Okay, I will definitely check that too. Who asked the question? I'm sorry.
It's Maria over at UNR.
Okay, thank you, Maria.
What about the timeline? When do we have to start doing these?
We started the contract with Achieve OnDemand this month, so you can start as soon as possible. We would like you to at least start by November, getting it on your calendars and start to schedule out kind of one self-paced course and one webinar a month.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Do they have ongoing Yeah, it looks like I'm looking at this right now. Oh, I can't go down.
Yeah, like
I'm like, but
All right. Do we have any other questions?
I have a question. Are we going to have another in-service like this, Cindy?
For this actual program, for this curriculum?
Yes. Because one of our nurse home visitors is not here today.
Correct.
So.
Yes, Michael was letting us know that it will be on YouTube. Michael, can you let them know how they can access this?
Yep, we're going to we're actually recording now, and we'll after this session we are going to process it and upload it to YouTube, and then we'll share the link out. To the attendees that are listed for this session, I also think we can include it in the email that has the link to the portal.
Okay.
Great, thank you. Does that make sense, Teresa?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Does anybody have any issues with the one self-paced course a month and one webinar? Does anybody see any kind of issues arising?
We're all in shock.
So this seems doable?
Well, we haven't tried it yet, so give us a chance to try, and then we can give you feedback.
Yes, I love that, Teresa. Thank you. I think it's very important to just email me or call me. Let me know how it's going. If you're coming up against any kind of issues, let us know how you're feeling about it. I know that Achieve OnDemand also wants to hear your feedback. We believe that this is going to be an incredible benefit to your program and to your home visitors and supervisors. So please let us know how it's going, and we'll keep track of how to help and support you.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. as a reminder, if new questions come up as you think about stuff and you start to get in working, please feel free to reach out to us either via email or the hotline, and we'll be glad to answer any questions you have regarding the system. With regard to the training plan and layouts, that's where we'll definitely defer to Evelyn and Cindy. But yeah, we're very excited to with Nevada in providing this content out for you, and hopefully this is a enlightening and engaging experience.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you to all the programs for coming online today and participating in this user webinar, and we look forward to the feedback. And you guys all have a great Thursday and Friday. Week's almost over.
Okay. Thank you. You too.